More than just copyright, understanding the Creative Commons licenses. We've all seen it. That letter C with a circle around it is everywhere, so much so that you probably don't even notice it most of the time. But when you do see it, you probably know that it means that the thing you were looking at is copyrighted. And although copyright can be a complicated concept, especially from a legal standpoint, most of us have a general idea of what it means.
Copyright. Noun. The exclusive legal right to reproduce, publish, sell, or distribute the matter and form of something such as a literary, musical, or artistic work.
Yes, copyright can be a serious issue. Legally, artistically, ethically, even practically. Even someone with a basic understanding of copyright might still have questions. What if I don't sell it? What if I modify it? What if it's for educational purposes? What if I only use a small portion? What if it's really, really old? That C with a circle around it looks so simple, but in reality, there are many ways of reading that symbol. So many, in fact, that someone could probably write an entire book about it. Hey, see, I told you. See what I mean? There it is right there on the covers. So how or why is this symbol such a versatile representation of copyright to those who see it? Do you liken it to a stop sign? A warning sign? A one-way only sign? Or maybe a no trespassing sign? Depending on the context, it can be seen as all of those and more. To some, it represents a shield protecting their creative work from unauthorized use. To others, it might feel like a barrier preventing them from freely sharing or building upon existing ideas. But beyond these individual perspectives, the copyright symbol also signifies the balance between the rights of creators and the public's access to knowledge and culture. It is a reminder that while creativity should be rewarded and protected, it should also be accessible and inspire further innovation. But all of that versatility can be problematic. With so many possible ways to interpret that symbol, it's no wonder that many people are afraid to do anything with copyrighted materials at all. But I think we can all agree that we need copyright. As complicated as it can become, copyright is still an integral part of protecting intellectual property and encouraging creativity. Luckily, there is a way to keep copyright intact while also clarifying how that copyright should be interpreted, but to do that, we need to modify that symbol just a bit. This is the symbol developed by creators of the Creative Commons, a nonprofit organization that provides free licenses and tools to enable the sharing and reuse of creativity and knowledge. These licenses allow creators to communicate which copyright rights they reserve and which they waive for the benefit of recipients or other creators. To be clear, the Creative Commons license does not cancel out the traditional copyright protection. Rather, it operates within the framework of existing copyright law. Creative Commons public copyright licenses incorporate a unique and innovative three-layer design. Taken together, these three layers of license ensure that the spectrum of rights isn't just a legal concept. It's something that the creators of works can understand, that their users can understand, and even that the web itself can understand. This three-layer design consists of a legal code, a human readability deed, and machine-readable metadata. Each license begins as a traditional legal tool in the kind of language and text formats that lawyers know and love. But since most creators, educators, and scientists are not lawyers, the license is also available in a format that normal people can read, the Commons Deed, also known as the human readable version of the license. The Commons Deed is a handy reference for licensors and licensees, summarizing and expressing some of the most important terms and conditions. I think of the Commons Deed as a user-friendly interface to the legal code, although the deed itself is not a license, and its contents are not part of the legal code itself. The final layer of the license design recognizes that software plays an enormous role in the creation, copying, discovery, and distribution of works. To make it easier for the web to know when a work is available under a Creative Commons license, a machine-readable version of the license gives a summary of the key freedoms and obligations written into a format that software systems, search engines, and other kinds of technology can understand. All Creative Commons licenses have many important features in common. Every license ensures licensors get credit for their work. At a minimum, every license helps licensors use Creative Commons tools to retain copyright while allowing others to copy and distribute their work in unadapted forms for non-commercial purposes. These common features serve as the baseline on top of which licensors can choose to grant additional permissions when deciding how they want their work to be used. All of the licenses include the BY condition. BY as in this work is by John Doe. The Share-like Condition License, SA, allows people to use and adapt the work for any purpose, even commercially, as long as they give credit to the creator and make any adaptations they share with others available under the same or compatible license. The Non-Commercial Conditioned License, in C, allows people to use the work or adaptations of the work for non-commercial purposes only, and again, only as long as they give credit to the creator. The No Derivatives License, in D, allows people to use the unadapted work for any purpose, even commercially, as long as they give credit to the creator. They may also adapt the work for their own personal use, but may not share any adaptations publicly. Two additional licenses combine elements to make licenses that are more restrictive. The Attribution Non-Commercial Share-alike license allows users to adapt the work for non-commercial purposes only, and only as long as they give credit to the creator and make any adaptations they share with others available under the same or a compatible license. The Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license is the most restrictive license offered by the Creative Commons. It allows people to use the unadapted work for non-commercial purposes only, and only as long as they give credit to the licensor. They may also adapt the work for their own personal use, but may not share any adaptations publicly. In addition to the CC license suite, Creative Commons also has an option for creators who want to take a no-rights reserved approach and disclaim copyright entirely, essentially putting their work into the public domain. Some countries, however, do not allow creators to dedicate their work to the public domain through a waiver or abandonment of those rights. So CC0 includes a fallback license that allows anyone in the world to do anything with the work unconditionally. The fallback license comes into play when the waiver fails for any reason. Finally, the public domain mark is a label used to mark works known to be free of all copyright restrictions. Unlike CC0, the public domain mark has no legal effect when applied to a work. It serves only as a label to inform the public about the public domain status of a work and is often used by museums, libraries, and archives working with very old works. Unlike CC licenses and CC0, which require the license holder to apply the license, anyone can apply the public domain mark to a work known to be in the public domain. So as empowering as this symbol is, and as versatile as it may be, the potential of the symbols created by the Creative Commons offers creators far more freedom to copyright their works the way they want them to be licensed. But remember, Creative Commons licenses are designed to work in harmony with, not apart from, traditional copyright. This synergy allows for both protection and openness, balancing the needs of creators and users. Moreover, by design, CC licenses do not reduce, limit, or restrict any rights under exceptions and limitations to copyright, such as fair use, fair dealing, or provisions for people with disabilities. If your use of CC licensed material would otherwise be allowed because of an applicable exception or limitation, you do not need to rely on the CC license or comply with its terms and conditions. This is a fundamental principle of CC licensing. Creative Commons licenses give everyone from individual creators to large institutions a standardized way to grant the public permission to use their creative work under copyright law. From the reuser's perspective, the presence of a Creative Commons license on a copyrighted work answers the question, what can I do with this work? As with most things related to copyright, the answer to that question can often be complex, but the tools and symbols created by the Creative Commons make finding the answers to those questions less daunting, more intuitive, and considerably easier to navigate.